Hi friends, today I am going to take in continuation with the HVAC system, heating, ventilation and air conditioning. I am going to have a questionnaire which will be very helpful during your interview basically. So it is good for freshers, good for the refrigeration mechanics engineer or maintenance engineer, maintenance manager, or maybe utility engineer, utility manager, engineering manager. So these are the terms, different terms used in different industries. So some are maintenance manager, some are engineering manager. So it is common beautiful questions. These questions have come asked my junior colleagues. So you make a video on the basically on air conditioning, because many people does not know much more in depth. Special people know it, but other than that, normal maintenance engineer or anybody else. So utility engineer is a very vast, but they are fresh mechanical guys or maybe production guys. So they may not be studied in engineering courses, because refrigeration and air conditioning is a very separate subject elective, like your production, design, machine design. So somebody takes or somebody doesn't take. So it depends upon again. So it is very helpful. These questionnaires will be about 20 questionnaires plus. So within these questions and answers, I am giving you the answers for that also, reading the questions and giving the answers. So it will help for everyone. Just let us jump directly into the question. First question is, what is meant by 1 ton of refrigeration? Normally we call 1 ton, 2 ton. So freezing a liquid water of 1 ton or 1000 kg at 0 degree temperature within the 24 hours is called 1 ton of refrigeration. This is the definition. Second question is, what is cooling tower range and cooling tower approach? So it is related to cooling tower only. You can say second and third questions also you can consider. The cooling tower range is basically the outlet temperature of a cooling tower and the inlet temperature which comes through the process. That temperature means the difference between the incoming temperature and outgoing. So incoming is always higher and outgoing is lower. So the difference is called delta T. Is delta T. The delta T is the cooling tower range. So the range should be minimum 8 or 12 degrees, sometimes maybe 8 degree. Below 8 degree is a good one, good sign of your efficiency of the cooling tower basically. And you need to check during monsoon season where there is a high humid or maybe summer basically. So it will exactly give you a efficiency of the cooling tower, how it is operating. And other than that, there are many factors to consider the efficiency of the cooling tower, how you maintain and all those things. I am taking those questions separately. Then what is cooling tower approach? Cooling tower approach is basically the bottom sum of cooling tower temperature and the wet bulb of that area. So whatever the temperature, maybe bottom temperature, suppose it is 70 Fahrenheit, maybe, and your wet bulb is about 60, the difference, whatever the difference is, that 10 Fahrenheit is your is the approach. So this is what it is. Then next question is, what is pump down? Third or fourth you can say. Just I am reading out the question. Whatever the number is there, just will forget the numbers. So what is pump down? To remove liquid refrigerant from the evaporator during the defrost cycle is called pump down. So in big plants we do normally like this, but like in domestic refrigeration or refrigerator, normally automatically defrosting takes place. So they are economized through proper channels. So otherwise earlier fridges and this thing, so a lot of ice formation back on the your cooling coils, and water was always dropping on the floor. So nowadays very economical and very good systems have come. But even though on bigger plants you require pump down. Then most important question will be, what are all the safety devices in the plant? Vapor compression systems, what are the safety devices basically? So there high pressure means high pressure cutout and low pressure cutout. This is for the gas I am talking about. So basically high discharge pressure cutout and low suction pressure cutout. So this is mandate to have it. And low pressure oil pressure cutout. This is very important because your compressor is moving apart. So if you do not have proper lubrication, or pump stops running, if there is pressure is not there in that particular, maybe some plants it is 3 kg per centimeter square, less than that, or 2.5 less than that, automatically the system complete plant will trip. So very good feature. Otherwise wear and tear will happen, our compressor will jam, a lot of things are there. So you need to be careful. Then the flow switch. Flow switch is for basically no water, no cooling water pump will start. Very good feature, because no water means there is maybe due to your water is drained, or your some leakages is happened, or somebody your makeup wall is not opened and by all evaporated water. So there are many reasons. So that's why safety is, if no water, flow switch, it is there in that system. By gravity, whatever the flow switch get the signal, so that it is no water, then automatically it will stop. Then last one in this is anti-thermostat. This is also, water should not go below 3 degree or 4 degree, 4 or 3 degree it starts becoming ice. So otherwise once again the parts will get jammed and all over, this problem will be there. So that's why anti-freeze thermostat will be there on each and every plant. And last one is overall relay in the electrical department. These are the safety if you consider. How do we control humidity in the plant? So chiller, basically it is giving a chilled water directly to the plant. Maybe somewhere you require direct chilled water also for injection molding, or maybe blow molding machines, or any other moldings, maybe hydraulic presses, I don't know. There you may be requiring to cool the temperature of the oil, or maybe what. That is one. Second one, it goes to your HV air handling unit. From there the fan wheel is there, so that cool air goes into your manufacturing area of any pharmaceutical or food industries or any other these things. That is how the temperature air flows in your packing area or manufacturing area. So there only through chilled water, in domestic AC or whatever the AC we have, there we cannot control the humidity. So basically you need a external another one more coil in the AHU which operates by three ways. One is what you call by your heater, electrical heater. Second one is by your steam. Third one may be hot water. So whatever is available in your area. In many industries boiler is not there, then electrical you can choose. So if direct steam is dangerous, many times people think if you hot water generator you can maintain that humidity in the plant. So what is the function of a modulating valve? Again, to control humidity of the plant, the modulating valve are meant to control your cut out your chilled water flow, or maybe pump, whatever pump is running in your AC plant, but it will stop that valve. Whichever the water is going in your coil, the coil chilled water will not go into that. That time your hot water or the electrical heater will start. So there also you have a thermostat according to your that programming area. So what temperature you want to operate, maybe 21 to 24 degree. You are operating SOP says, then RS should be less than 50. So accordingly the programming will be done, and the modulating valve, through modulating valve and programming, it can be controlled. How do we clean a condenser coil? So very basic question. It is a maintenance coil related question. Condenser coil is cleaned by your CIP system. Cleaning in place, you should have a separate trolley, and there are two tanks and pump mounted on that, flexible pipes which goes to your condenser. So after shutdown, you have to circulate the SCl, low concentrate SCl, and caustic soda, low concentrate. If you rotate both the sides, the cleaning coil will be, condenser coil will be clean one. Or maybe if it is choked badly, then you need to use that brush and wire to clean it. This one. So this is the one. And what is the function of a balancing valve in the condenser circuit? Balancing valve already I have explained you in the previous video. It is not necessary to use basically. So you see my that link, and what are the maintenance of a cooling tower and AHU basically. Just wait. So normally I will tell you. So basically maintenance of cooling tower is done by how do you clean the fins and cleaning up the cooling tower basically. And AHU also same, the filters which are there, pre-filters, absolute filters. So before AHU there are depending upon your production and your which class you require in the plant. So there the filtration system depends. So it starts from 50 micron filtration to 0.3 micron filter, HEPA filters basically. So these are HEPA filter cannot be cleaned properly. These are throwaway filters. So other than that, you can wash and you can Sunday you can refit it. Depend upon dust, it depends upon many factors. So maintenance is done that way. How do you measure RH? Again, there are automatic displays are there nowadays. You can display in the plant, maybe production area, or maybe packing area, or maybe manufacturing area, which gives your temperature of that area and some second, and after that it gives your RH also. This is one way. Second way, it is automatically controlled by your air conditioning and AHU, but as a common man in the production area, shop floor employees or anybody are, maybe quality guy, he comes and he tells, no yaar, this area feels very hard and humid. So for them, maybe your product, to control the product requirement is there. So if you are adhering or not, anybody can check and talk to your engineering person or refrigeration person. There it will help you basically. That is digital one. So, second method is first method you can say. Second method is basically traditional method. So wet bulb is placed in the hall wherever you want to monitor. So and digital thermometer with that gyroscope or what you have to rotate. There that after that you will be getting the temperature of that area. So if you have a one graph chart, in that chart provided by the manufacturer. So in that chart what is wet bulb and dry, that area dry bulb, see the graph, then you can say it is 60 degrees. So it is traditional way, and there people write hourly, this is what, but so these are all old techniques. Nowadays you better to have a data loggers. So I will tell you. So basically through data loggers also you can monitor the real time RH. So next question is related to what is data logger. So data logger is again, there are many German companies, there are many things. So you can put in the plant with the software attached to your maintenance manager's computer or laptop or in the plant, so that you can in one place you can check 7-8 points wherever the temperature is there. Simple one, or you have to take daily morning that what yesterday was there, or maybe you want to see the real time. So real time also you can be monitored. So it gives accurate data, what temperature it was there, what hourly basis, half 1 hour basis, 2 hour basis, whatever the half hourly basis. So whatever things are there, 30 minutes basis, so you can set it there. So it is very useful for basically for ISO 22 certification, or maybe FSI certifications, or anybody, FDA guy who coming and how you are maintaining that your products, or your own internal auditors is more dangerous than the external auditor. They know much more about that. Maybe QA guys or CQA guys. So always better you should be on the platform. So if anything is there, you can do a RCA root cause analysis afterwards, and who were there in that shift, who was the AC mechanic, or you can drill down and take the action accordingly, or maybe anything need to be with maintenance, you can do the maintenance activities. Which are the chemicals used in the cooling tower and why? So chemicals are basically used for to descale the plant, and for algae also antiscalant, used as the antiscalant. So scaling formation will be very low, and algae formation is there, so you can avoid that also. So maybe bacteria side also you can use it. So there are many things you can use it. There are many good companies like Thermax is there, Ion Exchange is there, then Nelco is there, then Albert Rose is there. The four companies are very reputed and very good. You can use anybody's chemicals, but they have got their own grade, their own numbers. So maybe getting from somewhere else only, they are not making. So how do you? Next question is there. Then how do you dose? This is okay. These are the chemicals used for basically as an antiscalant, or maybe algae, anti-algae formation, so or maybe antibacterial. So it depends. So then how do you dose it? So traditional way आपने देखा होगा, bucket ले लिया, then we add water according to that, घोल बना के then put in the cooling tower. That is not the right way. So you should have a proper dosing pump. So ask the vendor, take dosing pump with electrically beautiful dosing pumps are there. Then make a concentrate whatever he is telling. then according what ratio you want to put it in the running cooling tower. So maybe outlet of your inlet of your cooling tower is you have to put, or outlet of cooling tower you need to put. So those things to be asked and properly monitored. So it will definitely, guys, this will help everybody in the organization. It is one kind of a professionalism, like having automated dosing pump, then data loggers. Always it will help to the organization as well as the systems improvements. Then filter types and what is microns do you use in HU? So again, filters for 50 microns to then first 50, then 20 microns in suction area of the HU, then discharge area maybe 10 microns, then 3 microns HEPA filters. So these are the filtration requirement for your product depending upon products and the area where you put the dead plant. So whether it is a environmental free area or dusty area, so it depends whether it is a moisture area or maybe. Okay, so these are the things available. And what is the class 100, class 10, class 1 lakh, class 1000 also, 10,000 is there, 1 lakh is there. So what does it mean? These are the actually clean room application we call. So what class clean room is there? May I ask people. So especially in pharma, so where the human is very less touch to that product, you can use 1 lakh, higher side filtration. If in between you are using maybe putting some bottles or maybe taking out your products or maybe something like that, anything little bit also, maybe with proper gloves, proper your gears, safety gears, maybe cap and mask, with proper apron you may be using, but it depends upon how sensitive product is, basically whether this product is aseptic, means there is no touch by human in that product. For example, salines, this Romelag machines only it will go directly to your room, nobody touches there, it directly go into outside area, clean room application, then the packing, then after that also it goes for sterilization. Once that has been sterilized, so it is free from all things. You have packed it, but there that salines also sterilized in the sterilizers. So 120 degree, all the bacteria will be killed. So it is very strict and stringent rules are there in the pharma. So this is basically telling about the classification. I have clean room application, I have made one video, you can what are the details in it. And I told you 1 lakh filtration system class, and what is 10,000? Means 10,000 less than 0.3 microns dust particles in a 1 feet, it should not enter, means not 10,000 per feet per minute. So 0.3 micron very less. So it depends upon your as we go lower side, means it is very good in that area. So we go lower side because we maybe manually may be putting there. So not necessary, but some products may require 10 classification is also there. So you can read this, we normally call clean room application. Okay, and for that also they do every month you need to do DOP test and well set also, what is that flow is coming or not, up to that what is the 110 plus or minus within that range is or there not, or whether if it is velocity is not, of the air is not coming to the ground, then you need to change the HEPA filters. So there are a lot of science behind it and technicality behind it. It's not a simple area. So these are the differences I told you. And how do you do fumigation? What is fumigation? So this word fumigation has come from basically from pharma only. So we do hygiene and sanitization we call normal japut. So fumigation is that to kill the bacteria, whatever it depends upon your swab test of floor. Okay, bacterial load are more, so then you need to fumigate that area. It depends upon how many times is there any frequent breakdowns of that machines or various reasons for to increase that load in that area. So for which you need to do the fumigation. Okay, fumigation is done through properly. Earlier used to use formaldehyde for the fumigation. Now it is banned completely. So which is the latest one, you need to check Google out. So there put a one complete one equipment is there. You put then start issue on the actually if you want to do the fumigation, all the employees should be out. So maybe Saturday night when production stops or Sunday morning you have to do the fumigation. So it is done by all AC operators. So once it fumigate 4-5 hours they keep it that fumes inside that manufacturing area and your packing area. So 4 hours, 8 hours. So in the night once again Sunday night that another AC guy will come defumigate. So through reverse blower system. So once it has been done, so you can start your manufacturing or your production area. So fumigation is very important process for to kill the bacteria or bacterial loads are there in your manufacturing or packing area. So and always you should have a positive air inside that you are filling and your packing area in the pharmaceutical or food industry. Why positive? Positive means in COVID positive is dangerous. So here positive means for example atmospheric pressure is 1.1 kg per centimeter square. In that area you should have plus air, means through 1.23 kg per centimeter square through blower from HUs it has to come, so that the outside air should not enter into that area. So if that air enters, maybe some airborne bacteria are there that will harm your product. So that is the reason. So always they put positive air inside your packing and your manufacturing area. So HU plays very important role. Clean room application plays very important role. So this is basically what it is. What should be the cooling water quality? Cooling water for your cooling tower basically you should have a softener, I think, basically by a softener, or depends upon your raw water quality again. Maybe DM water or softener or maybe many filtration systems. DM nobody uses, very costly, but softener will do, depend upon the filtration and this thing. So you can anything, I think less than TDS should be less than 400 250 to 400 range, it is okay. Less than that, or maybe then less than that also is okay. So depends upon the TDS and maybe conductivity. I will take you the conductivity next time. What is purging of cooling tower and when to do? Purging of cooling tower means complete draining out of the cooling tower. So or maybe for sometimes like blow down what we do in the boiler, for the time being just sediment, whatever the sediment in the drain, open the drain pipe for some time. So whatever the hard material is that come out, close that and allow makeup water to come in. So if anything is there, you can do that also, purging, or maybe complete cleaning of the cooling tower. what type of brines used in secondary refrigeration? Why secondary refrigeration? It is used in basically all beverages like cola, Pepsi, thumbs up, all even your all alcohol making companies, you need this one, because there you need to put your products in the deep freeze. Where there is a deep freeze, maybe dairy products, there also you need this minus 20, minus 30 degree temperature. There we use secondary refrigeration system with brine. Brine are 4 types, basically calcium chloride, sodium chloride, and your alcohol and your glycol. These are the things they use it. So thank you guys, thank you so much for giving me a time, and I think this questionnaire will help you improving yourself in the system. So who knows more, those guys will be always valued in the system, and maybe you are changing your job also, it will help you. These are very important questions. If guys, if any questions are there, please buzz me. I am telling each and every time, but nobody is asking me the technical questions. So please buzz me, flood with the questions, so that you will learn and you will earn. Okay, very important. To learn, you have to earn, you have to learn. So without learning, you cannot earn. So please buzz me any stupid question also. I will answer your all questions related with HVAC, or maybe my previous videos whenever you are seeing boiler or belts or anything else. Please comment whether I don't bother whether it is a positive comment or negative comment. Don't bother about this, because you learn, I learn. So it is helpful to improve these things. So please go ahead and prepare yourself very good. Read that book, P.N. Anant Narayan, for more details. You will be master in this subject. So I also become master after reading this book only. So if you like my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon, so that time to time real time notification will be coming to you. Again, I request you, please comment about if my videos are not good. Please comment that also. If you want any improvement in that area, please say that also. Any questionnaire also you can budget. Thank you guys, thank you so much.